So tell me a bit about, well, for example, the show that's coming up and what sort of role you'll be doing and how.
The night show.
Yeah, that's right.
At the moment, well, it's quite awkward at the moment because we've got so many coming up. You're kind of juggling the balls, but it's initially looking at different ideas. We're really trying to push Wembley. Obviously, we've got a great relationship with the FA. Carl Froch is going to become an ambassador for the FA soon. He's already done a little bit with FA TV. So we're going to push the Wembley angle. Darren's a massive Chelsea fan. He's a genuinely huge football fan, and every day he's texting me going, "Hey, you got me on Soccer AM yet or what?" And I'm really, we're working on that. So we're going to have a photo shoot with Darren down at Wembley soon and that. So it's little ideas, doing something different to try and catch, to try and just edge a photo in the papers and stuff like that. Because outside of your pay-per-views and your Hayes and your Froches and that, it is difficult. And I would imagine everyone would say the same thing. It's quite awkward trying to get. Everyone does a great job, but I'm not complaining, saying we don't get any coverage, but it's just football, isn't it? So you're really hammering your head, just trying to think of a different little twist in that. So that's what we're looking at with this one, pushing the Wembley angle, and yeah.
Who would you say is the most media-friendly guy you've got in your books?
No, that's mean, that isn't it? He's over there at the moment. Carl Frampton's brilliant with the press. They're all really good. They're all, Gavin the other day had a conference call sprung on him with Devon, and it was an awkward time of day. With Adrian, yeah. And he was like,
juggling.
yeah, exactly. And he was like, yeah, no worries, pal. Yeah, I'll get on it. And he stuck around on the phone. They did the heavyweights first, so he was on the phone for even longer, and he was fine. Carl's great. He can, he's quite a funny bloke. Darren's the most laid-back bloke ever, and Kel, and obviously Kel, poor old Kel had one of these press conferences when there's, it's a bit like I was at the Anthony Agogo one yesterday, and when there's only one guy there to interview, besides Richard Schaefer and so forth, it must be knackering for them because they're answering the same question over again, and that's what Kel had the other week in Sheffield. We were just, are you looking forward to it? It's like, of course he's looking forward to it. It's a world title fight, but Carl's very lucid, and obviously there's tons to ask Carl Frampton, that is, and he's, obviously it's nice for him today to be down here. It's just a convenient fit because he's obviously training in Battersea nowadays. So get him to meet some of the the British press that can't go over to Belfast.
And obviously you get to see a lot of the exciting stuff, up close and personal. What would you say has been the highlight for you since you joined Matchroom, and how long ago was it you joined Matchroom?
Oh, 5 years now. 5 years. It's Froch beauty, isn't it? I mean, there's no argument about it. Even though I wasn't there, though, watching Gavin beat Mazash in France, I was watching it on the telly, doing the report at home, and my neighbours downstairs came up to go, "Come on, mate, keep the noise down," because I was throwing every punch with Gav, because him and Gary Lockett are good friends of mine, really. But I mean, Froch beauty was just. I actually lost my cool a little bit there, I must admit. I got on because they were such a great Bute's team with such great people, and I felt quite bad for celebrating as much as I did.
I remember you jumping up and high-fiving someone else in the media, if I remember rightly.
That was Niall Hickman. I'm going to out him there. That was Niall Hickman.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't actually going to out him, but there you go.
He doesn't mind.
Anyway, and what would you say in terms of, that was obviously a high, what would you say has been the low point so far?
The low points wouldn't be defeats or anything like that. Obviously it's horrible watching Darren in against Sergio and things. But the worst things are the pull-outs. When you work on, because we put a lot of work in behind the scenes. Right? You know what it's like when you come up to a deadline and you find out something's not happening and you have a page to fill. That happens with programs, and there's a hole in a show, and we feel it organisationally. It's a nightmare. Frank has got to deal with the tickets. Johnny Wish and the guys have got to find a new fight to fill it. I've got space in the programme, and it hurts. And then you think, wow, how much more must it hurt them? And that's what it really is, because you know how much they put in, and if they don't fight, they don't get paid. And you just,
especially coming up to Christmas, there was that big one, wasn't there?
Oh, well, Lee Purdy must. I mean, we'd been in the gym with him. It was going to be a great fight. People were saying that was going to steal the show. Purdy Jones, and for him to pull out, and it must have been bad because he's a little nutcase, and he's fantastic. And for him to pull out must have just been devastating. So that's the real things. The losses and stuff is, you can't. It's got nothing to do with you. I don't know how to box. I'd be useless at it. But I think it's the injuries and the pull-outs. They're the ones that really hurt.
Okay, last one just in closing. obviously I know you've got a busy year. We've got Reese, we've got Brooke, we've got prize fighters, we've got the return of Audley, but at the top of the tree we have Froch Kessler too.
Yeah.
What extra things will you be doing to get Froch out into the mainstream in the next 2-3 months?
I don't know. I ain't decided yet. No, it's I think because of the side of the show, it's all about getting him across to the non-boxing writers as well, without annoying the boxing writers. Obviously, he's going to have all the time we can give Carl and Mikkel as well. The Soundlands have been great so far, and they're really behind it. Obviously, it's going to be a massive show and a big sell. But it's all about, like you say, getting Carl over to the other side. You know, he was on Question of Sport last night. There's going to be a lot of more stuff like that. Just getting him into just non-boxing stuff for the time being, without annoying McCracken and having him going, oi, stop doing so much. Because obviously it's the same with Kel. You know, Kel's doing a lot of stuff at the moment, which I think it's Sky Sports Fitness for Life. He's going to be doing stuff like that, hopefully with Jess Ennis in a couple of weeks, and it's just widening it up to a different audience. But at the same time, you've got Dom Ingle going, all right, you've had him for a day there, you've had him for a day there, you've had him for a day there. You've got to, so it's a bit of cheeky balancing act and that. So we've got to make sure when we do something, it's got a really big impact. But that's Carl, isn't it? Everyone loves him. So.
Brilliant. All right, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.
Get involved with all the best boxing banter at our forum, and that's forum.boxingnewsonline.net.